Okay. Ivy versus Nightmare. Gigantic damage all around.
They rolled a much better stage, I think. Even though both characters kind of want the same thing.
Ring outs? But Nightmare's better at them.
Oh, absolutely.
Nightmare's better at the forward ones.
And his range, yeah, but he does not have a reverse ring out, barring the crouch grab. Wow, immediate wall raising.
Wow, that was a setup and a half.
That was the worst thing. But anyway, yielded half-life. He's going to get a bunch of damage off this. No, he will not. He's attacking a lot.
Yeah, he decided to go very aggressive right away, and is able to buffer an SS with literally nothing whatsoever. Shades of an Ivy player that nobody remembers anymore, but shoutouts to 350Z.
Yeah, he did that in the grab when he got grabbed.
Yeah.
He held it for so long. So he just
nice forward movement, I like that. Nightmare does have the ability to just kind of effectively dash forward in a lot of situations to remove a lot of the counterplay that Ivy has for zoning.
I like that he's choosing crouch grab over regular grab in that particular situation too, because if Ivy gets his right on the set play by blocking low, her grab punish is huge, but her I-15 from crouch is usually just wall raising K. Well, really gets it, yeah.
No, he gets. Oh, okay. I thought
no,
that.
It's horizontal, and then it's a vertical parry, correct? And that is 0 on hits. You actually can guard if you get hit by that.
Right.
So you definitely just kind of want to hold it, but there's also kind of a mix up there, so it makes it very uncomfortable. I appreciate that he comes there.
He's going for 2-2B a lot. I assume it's something that breaks armor, and it's not necessarily the easiest thing to punish on Nightmare. Oh, I see. He wants to do the cool just ring. I gotcha. I think Jimbo was the one who first told me about this. Yeah, shit, Trey gives a big old shut up.
Yeah, you're gonna get that lethal hit when she kills with a critical edge, which she usually does, but he did just do that. Oh, nice attempted punish. AJing, that's really hard. Wow. So that is a lag low for sure, but it's safe against Nightmare, so, I mean, tossing it out's fine. It beats armor, right?
Yeah, it's a good forward roll in order to kill with a 6-6 kill there from Draethion, but yes, I agree. Online lows, simply because they're online lows, depending on the context, can be perfectly fine. Like, I think something like a Mitsu 1A as a quote-unquote true blue low would be totally reasonable, frankly, against both these characters, for the most part.
Yeah, most ranges are not really going to get anything, especially not Nightmare. And, wow. Okay.
He's not out, is he?
No. This is one thing about KC. I've never seen that tech grab before. There's one thing about KC that really blows my mind is that he plays the same way as like other IB players do near the wall specifically. Will commit to these like really like risky like jump attacks, but he'll let it rip and not hit confirm it, and it'll always work on whip.
Yeah.
Like he'll always make the mistake of not confirming it, but it'll just work anyway. I'm not really quite sure why.
Now, it is important to note that, very similar to what was going on in the Kasha versus Anton match, it really seems like Casey is in control of like 90% of the match, and then at one point, Casey is wrong about one of his own Oki, and Dre literally kills him. So, it seems like KineticClash is large and in charge at the moment, but we've got Double Bar Nightmare coming in here.
Grimstride A is so here.
That 4-4K was a massive failure.
Doesn't really do anything with playing advantage. Wow, that was so
KineticClash really about this 4-4K right now. Oh, that's not dead yet, but
good damage, yeah.
Yes, the
oh wow, I've never seen someone pick out of that. That is supposed to be a tech death trap. Very weird. And yeah, you don't want to Ukemi forward there. If you Ukemi in any of the directions but back, you will give her a direct mix-up. So unfortunately, this guess is wrong there.
So what should
you don't really care or so. Oh, Ukemi back. Ukemi or roll back will give you, yeah. It will
I can see why you don't want to do that. No, that's already safe. No, maybe not to Nightmare.
Okay. Yeah, Nightmare's already extremely fast. I mean, Kaylee played tons and tons of bar.
He has a bar, and it's 3 seconds into the match. Okay, see, leaning over towards the ring edge.
Can't give Dre these free Grimstride. You're gonna wow. This is not gonna be a ring out, but he could probably create a situation where he can make it if he does choose to guess here. Stays on the ground, rightfully so. Take a little bit of damage. Definitely okay. It's better than getting reverse rung out.
Ooh, no punish.
No, you're not gonna get punished in that range at all. Yeah, I just punished for T2AA is actually just 2A. You just can't really get anything else at that range.
I'd be willing to bet that this is going to be the narrative of the set just in general, where Casey really seems to be in charge of the whole time, especially if we stay on a stage like this, and then Dre's going to be able to just kind of do the Joe Frazier bob and weave and just wait for that one single strong hit.
Yeah, I mean, it's already enough here. He's got like 20% guard damage. And, no, there's no reverse ring out in this move.
I still haven't gotten used to. I just got Ivy to S rank, by the way. And I still haven't gotten used to the fact that the character doesn't have reverse ring.
Right. Like, okay, punish, but not really the greatest you can get.
Is that
Oh,
dead?
it's gonna kill you. It does not need to spend the bar, but he's going to hit.
Doesn't that give him the lethal hit?
Okay, Jay.
Yeah, right? No?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just,
why I did it. I'm just saying, that's why I did it, that's all.
It's yes. Okay, yes. I think it's very bad.
I'm
but-
a commentator, and I'm providing information. See? Wow!
Oh, you messed up
So, can I expect your apology in the mail, or will it be done, like,
Combo
over
drag.
email? Okay, 4-4Ks.
That is really good. Okay, you kind of want to come in here, but you have to block. That's just the force block if you attack.
Dre's kind of doing, like, the sit and
A lot of
wait kind
damage.
of thing in a lot of these
Easy
spots.
combos. You're gonna get really good Oki. This is a back turn CS setup. Yes, he actually doesn't get up into it. Doesn't come into the 6 kill though.
Oh, he's
yeah,
good.
well. It's gonna take out KGA. Yes,
Alright, he
very
feels
nice.
comfortable on the Parsec server. He feels comfortable just going for the just frame. In
The
that
execution, the
situation.
timing, he's getting it every time.
Gonna have to deal with double bar Ivy.
Oh, wow.
Tech crouches, not tech
Alright,
crouches
get out of it.
long enough.
Yeah. Good Oki here.
Good bot.
Nice low buff. You're not really gonna get a great punish though. You can see that, but you gotta be aware that that's a specific low you're looking for.
Catching the movement there. Dude, Casey doesn't even have to spend any meter at all. Yeah, he's just
Oh,
gonna
it's
get the
so
free
weird.
round.
Grimstride A. He did the right thing. If you stay there and you Grimstride A, you can parry both options. You just did it way too slowly.
Right. So yeah, you're not actually gonna have to go into this with a meter disparity against Nightmare, so that's good. Gonna have to be worried about that
now
jump
Casey's at the ring edge, so he has that like 35% win rate increase.
Oh no. Oh, that could have been a 2-2-A. That would
Yeah, I'm really surprised it turned into a soul
nice
attack.
wait. Soul charge.
I am
Soul
confident.
charge.
Draethion from players too, he has those really good reactions.
Oh, he did?
Specific
I
characters,
think he
he's
does.
definitely rung out, just needs the ABA. But, where if you see Ivy go into stance, then you soul charge. If she does not go into stance, just guard. Her summon suffering will whiff, and she'll probably RI, and you can just block punish it. Or,
Oh,
well,
okay.
rather-
I never actually knew about that. Yeah, that
Very-
does make a lot
yeah.
of sense.
A lot of those soul attack actions are very easy to tell.
I appreciate a commentator giving me that kind of information. Very similar to me talking about that that
The worst lethal hit in the game. I don't know worst character. Anyway,
Ew.
definitely also.
No, don't say that. I don't want to start a riot on this Parsec stream.
One is that's a decent punish actually. K6 is going to give you that I-16 knockdown.
Oh wow, look at KC just backing up here.
Oh, whoa, whoa, this is kind of awkward.
Oh,
True
Drake,
on
don't
hit.
let this go. That is
Frame it-
not
wow.
what he wanted.
Well, literally the worst move to do when someone's in your face.
Yeah.
Never hit them.
What was
not
that
even
supposed
in
to
the
be?
air. 9 people's K? I can't tell you what that was.
Yeah, I don't know what B plus K button that move should have been.
Maybe Wall Rising people's K for bringing Christmas tree back, but
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's the only thing that makes sense, but also it doesn't.
But definitely, as I was going to say before, like definitely those kinds of characters with those stance entries and soul attacks, it's pretty much every character in the game. Like you can see, like Raphael's on a Shadow Blade or something, and you can definitely RI off that, stuff like that. So
Wow,
that's
what a
helpful.
choice.
Yeah, very strange. Definitely not going to really get anything out of that. Ivy,
Oh,
Ivy's
no,
really
no, no.
good move. Very nice back catch with straight full speed. Going to contain Ivy there. Yeah, Ivy's really good at dealing like tons of guard damage, but not really good at closing it out with like a good guard break. So I feel like going for it is a bit, just unnecessary. I think it's better to go for those kinds of mix-ups and dealing a lot of damage to your opponent for rolling and stuff.
Blocking his own reversal edge. I know the reversal edge was not intentional, but it's almost undoubtedly an AGA.
Right, so
Very
he
similar
just
to
maybe
that.
wasn't ready to deal with it.
But very interesting choice, and just immediately going into Soul Charge. Now,
Might
honestly,
whiff.
I could have seen Dre even potentially running forward and trying to do his own Soul Charge. But
Gotta
he
kill
decided
your
to play
step there. You
defensive Soul
can't
Charge.
step there. It doesn't really beat anything. Even the B would realign at that plus frame.
Oh,
You
wow.
just-
Yep.
Yeah, again, these are the kinds of situations where if you just tech back, you will eliminate parts of the
You
mix-up and make it not a
can't
mix-up
tech
anymore.
back. She's right there. You got to get over there. Oh, fantastic
wow, that was such a
punish.
cool option. I think that would actually beat Jumpstart A too because it's a high. Very nice.
no,
Oh,
it's
the
gonna be
delay
so
on it,
good.
yeah, it's gonna be a lot of damage. Very nice execution. Yeah, this
Fantastic.
first server seems to be fantastic for both of them.
Definitely
Oh, here we
going
go. He's
Soul Charge
actually gonna
for
try to
sure.
take this out. with Summon suffering, using armor. That was so
Scary.
deliberate.
Oh, okay.
And, well, terrifying, but,
Yeah.
but not for KC because he understood that it would be an armor move or just Dre being patient or moving. Like he just beat all of those options by doing that. So
I like how
Like the
Casey
I don't-
goes for 6A plus B either 15 times in a round or 0 times in a round. He just decides there are some days, sometimes that he'll do it. And
If
he's
he misplaces-
constantly
if he
catching
misplaces
Dre, trying
any
to
of
get in.
these,
Oh, God.
that's what I was just waiting for.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just waiting for it too, but just slightly misplaces it.
Putting himself on the
Oh,
ground forcefully,
that's a
Shades
kill.
of Zhanghua, and that's it. Yeah, so it definitely seems... So, something that Casey was doing in the first game kind of a lot was doing a lot of 4-4Ks, and it really wasn't working out at all, and I thought he was just being weird. But clearly what he's trying to do is just mitigate. And now, that being said, I'm pretty sure that Nightmare has an option or two in Soul Charge that are really going to hammer somebody down to the ground if they're just on the ground, right?
A plethora of options I can think of. Meterless and with Soul Charge.
Yeah.
For starters, the obvious one is I'm pretty sure you can just block punish it with 2A plus B and just gain a bunch of meter behind his bar.
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
If it whiffs, Grimstride A plus B.
Grimstride A plus B. Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking.
Yeah, Night Backstance A plus B. Everything hits grounded for 10 billion damage. I'm really not quite sure why you would 4-4Ks to such an extent. I think sometimes it's definitely good. It'll waste a lot of his timer, but other times, if you're just obvious once, you will take an unbelievable amount of damage.
It's going to be hard. So, a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing from KC, that can't be. A lot of the stuff that I'm seeing from KC is stuff that I think would be fantastic tools and options in like a first to 2, which makes sense because he won the first to 2. In a first to 10, I don't know how super duper valid they are. Wow. He got up, he got a drink, he got back to his desk, and then he did a jump K and it still beat Ivy Jump K.
Yeah, I was going to say, that 9K possibly was on reaction to just hit him out of the air.
Yeah, this is air to air,
so you can do
those kind of stuff.
Right. Okay, a little bit of awkward whiff there because there is a string to 6-6A, the whole version, so that's a lot of damage. Not these.
Alright, back and forth. Yet again, it's going to be a matter of who can separate yet.
In Casey's nature and his playstyle, I could see why he would just immediately rematch. I personally would switch the stage. I think Nightmare's Ringer game is just stronger to such a degree and more accessible.
He's getting a lot of mileage out of the ability to keep him out. If he ends up getting a small stage,
man, this is not going to ring out.
No, it's not going to ring out. Oh, he tried to go for something hella, but ended up not getting it.
I think he pressed 9 B plus K instead of 8. 8 B plus K is going to give you the arrow shot there. No, he's fine. I think he might be.
Anytime I see that move hit, I just assume he's dead.
Definitely giving Nightmare's Ring Out game a little bit more credit than it deserves, but it's very hard to do that.
Never.
Very, very strong.
Never enough.
This might be, you gotta do something there. Unfortunately, against 6's KK, post GI is still like really good, and you don't want to just give it to him for free. But Ari was a weird choice because I would also lose to it, so I'm not quite sure why he chose to do that since the second it's a break attack. Some sort of whip punish, nice horizontal whip punish, aware of the Grimstride B. I mean A.
Nice catch on that drill. Again, this terrifying back turn.
Oh, so weird. I actually has an OS for that though. I was telling I forgot who I told. It might have been you. No, it was not. Wow, that is always funny looking.
That looked very satisfying for Dre.
But yeah, if he elects to do 4A plus B after blocking a 2-2A, will auto GI the follow up and beat all of the Grimstride options except the cancel and the critical. So that is something that I think Casey would want to maybe implement if he was aware of it.
It's incorporating a few smaller moves, things like 3A and 2A. I think are
wow, 6K, so brave, so brave. Wow, that could have turned out so poorly.
And it legitimately looks like anytime he goes for that jump B that Casey is known for, it tends to be a situation where, like, Nightmare, Dre as Nightmare is just straight up just waiting for it and then just smacking him as hard as possible.
Casey's movement here is yielding so many whiffs, and I'm honestly shocked Dre's.
That's honestly why I think he's decided to keep this stage, because yes, the ring out carry is very terrifying, but this provides him literally the most amount of movement in the whole world.
Now, this stage is, it is probably the biggest now.
Oh, you could potentially get something here.
Yeah, you can definitely get a low grab, low stab mix up, and he goes for it. I don't know why it didn't lethal. I guess he actually timed it so well that it beat.
Yeah, I think it just like straight up stayed on the ground. He didn't have time to actually get up. That's not gonna hit.
Oh, that's gonna whiff. Yes, nice whiff punish.
You know your spacing is good when you can punish a Nightmare soul attack vertically.
Yeah, especially that it kind of like
no, that's not
gonna be actually barely up. This is going to whiff. He's gonna be in a really bad situation. If Bryce didn't go for Night Lower Stance A plus B.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant to do, and he ended up getting a little bit of a screwy thing, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. Dre is gonna be the first person to get 2 games in a row, but he still hasn't necessarily separated himself from this round count so far. 2 different.
Yeah, in a first attempt set like this, I don't think anyone has any leverage right now.
No.
They both just have to kind of play fantastically. Trying anything new is probably something you want to do right away. See if it works and get a little bit of a lead, because I don't really have one right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say that Dre is trying anything new. Casey seems to be trying new things like every round, like different buttons that he wasn't using before. He's really going at throwing the kitchen sink at Dre, and he's finding some stuff. And he has a lot of time. Even if he loses the next like 4 games in a row or something like that, he would still have quite a few games to be like, okay, I figured out the perfect set of tools that I would use for the rest
blocking on
of
his
the
own RE. I don't really agree with that decision. Very nice whip punish. Should kill if this was the optimal.
Oh,
barely!
Yeah, you can't do that jump B, my dude. I guess he assumed on a 2-way. It's a perfectly reasonable choice, but I think that Dre is specifically leaning towards never doing
Nice.
something.
This is going to be an unblockable setup.
I don't know about this.
Yep.
Ooh,
Actually,
fantastic
very strong unblockable
SS bait.
Man grab? Oh, low, yeah. Same X early, though.
Oh no,
Nice,
these A plus
nice
Bs have been terrifying.
Yeah, they've been
Wow.
very good. Wow.
Don't copy me.
That was Jinx.
Wow.
Really unexpected. It's
Very
command
aggressive
grabs that
Owen
have been
Wilson
very
type thing.
successful.
He's
Oh,
going
that's
for
also
the-
one move in the matchup that's like fantastic. From crouch 1D in this matchup is so good because it's safe, beats armor, does so much damage.
Hasn't really been using it yet either.
Barely using it. Low grab?
Man, I think Dre has done a perfect job of just like, once he's in... Oh no, is he out?
That's not
No,
going to
he's
be a
not.
ring out, but it's going to be very, very close to it.
Oh, that... Okay, I was gonna say.
I play Ivy. I play Ivy.
Yeah, you're right. That is not gonna be out.
Oh, really?
I got Ivy to S rank yesterday, so...
I got Ivy to S rank a billion years ago.
A billion years ago.
10 billion even.
Thank you for being more specific with your answer. Man, that was actually, honestly, now that we're done the riffing and raffing, that was actually kind of bad on Dre's part to be, like, staying there motionless in that spot on that stage. I don't think that was a very... I think he ended up freezing up a bit too much there.
Again, moving, like, they even made it better because they reduced the damage output of 6 moving against Ivy at that specific range, just, I feel like it's just almost always correct at that point.
Yeah.
The risk reward for just standing there is so in her favor. You know, and at the end of the day, when you block one of them, you get nothing. Like, you don't get a punish.
Oh no, I don't think that's what he wanted.
This is so much damage into, like, force block Oki, but he goes for the guaranteed damage instead. This is going to be a really scary AGA.
That's not what he wanted, but it could potentially be in his favor. He ends up Man, imagine playing a character that's so powerful that even when you 100% love an input, you end up giving yourself something that puts you in, like, the win.
That was unbelievable.
Another very, very close set right here. Ivy and Yellow Gargage probably not going to come up. First post-GI we've had so far. Dre, 100% so far on that. He's got 2 bars. KC going out of his way not to spend any meter whatsoever.
Oh, this is so scary for Dre, though, because he's the one with the lead. That's safe.
Yeah, 2-2A is safe here.
I would really appreciate some
No, you every
gonna be-
single time that Jump B has been the option, it has been hard punished.
Yeah, I really... Even though the jumpies worked, they weren't even ringing out. You
Yeah.
know? Like, I do think that Casey was just being a little too green with meter there in a situation where you weren't really going to get another chance to spend it, so I really think that...
Yeah, exactly. I think he just got too tempted by the stage. I think that was the
Yeah,
problem, is that,
it's
like,
too tempting. It's very difficult on a character like Ivy because your reward, again, it's winning the round, so a lot of times you'll just try it.
fantastic punishes with these AGAs. They are potentially
Not
kind of
willing
risky.
to block... That's the thing, you have to be willing to block low at the ring edge against Ivy. As
top
Ivy,
rope.
I mean. Because he's blocking all these AGAs, taking a bunch of guard damage, and he's letting Drake do it. Like, you can just keep ducking Mars and PDs.
Yeah, I think that's effectively what, like, the spacing that Dre was picking, these pinnacle, like, it would have allowed it so that if KC went for something like this, like full crouch 1B, then you wouldn't have gotten the full launch. So it was a very good spacing kind of idea. Jump B probably could have still hit. Potentially, at least.
But definitely jumping there is really scary, because he just got, like, bad at
No, yeah, you definitely can't do that for the rest of the set. If he ends up pulling off a Jump B in this game, I will be very surprised. Because it really seems like Dre is 100% calling out every time.
Wow, what a whiff.
That didn't make any sense at all. Okay.
Just catching the dead zone of the 6-6 hold here, but Dre was extremely patient against it for some reason. Even if you flub the whip punish against 6-6 hold, okay.
You get a
I
full
definitely think you should take your frame advantage against it. This is a lot of the yep. Okay, that's the back
If at first you don't succeed, right?
Earlier.
This is the situation that happened before.
Yeah, that setup is so strong, but again, it's one of those situations where if you react to the stance, it's so much weaker. So again, if she stays in stance, the CS doesn't work, and she'll just force block you with the mid, and then you eat the mid, and there's no mix-up.
By the way, that was the luckiest clash I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I've never seen that combo 4-4-B single of 2A+B. Yeah, if she doesn't go into stance, you know she's gonna CS, right? The mid does so much less damage, but it's still a mix-up. I appreciate that he just tried to block the mid, maybe you just thought a layer ahead, but you'll take so much damage and you can't tech CS for back there.
God, he went from mashing like 15 times in a row to like, okay, I think I finally conditioned my opponent to allow me to backstep 85 times, but okay. Again, has every game gone to the last round? I think it has.
It definitely feels intense to the point where that would make sense.
Like, every single game is pretty intense right now. A lot of these little tiny hits, but frankly, Dre is not really interested or worried about like these small hits, even though it did almost half health. KineticClash is potentially dead to one hit right now. Now he definitely is.
Yeah, it needs a little bit to bring it back. He's not really committing to any stuff. He needs to,
Whoa!
to get
Oh, come on, dude. What? I don't know so much about that, my dude. Oh, please don't get hit by the sick green. No! Oh, wow. Lying in wait. It finally happened. He's been looking for that since round one.
Too assertive. I think that he needed to introduce a mid. You can't mix your high and grab. Eventually, your opponent is going to believe you that you will do a fourth or fifth one in a row, you know?
I mean, God, Dre, like, covered for it, and he covered for it, and he covered for it for some more, and he's still ahead. But it's just like, man, KC's determination for going for that option.
Again, really like that he's electing to crouch grab instead. KineticClash has not done the optimal punish on any of these crouch grabs yet. And again, it's very hard, so Ivy's not going to really get anything out of that. And again, she gets such a reward for ducking an actual grab. I'd argue the best reward in the game. So.
Wow!
Wow! Someone kill damage too.
Again, it's the second time, every single time that KineticClash gets some sort of like a lucky vertical ending up tracking, that seems to be his go-to, where he wiggles around a bit to bait the CS/SS, and then he ends up going for a full crouch 1B. It's crazy.
Basically, he's punishing your hyper-awareness, because now that you've just kind of been teased in a certain way, you're going to pay attention a lot more, right? And then he does this thing where it's so obvious he's going to grab, like he just doesn't do the grab. I really like that mind game from him. I think I understand it. That's what he's playing for. Backing up here is okay, but now you're giving Nightmare a little bit more of a ring out. Really so much damage. Really fantastic back
Dre's
step.
jump Ks. Dre's jump Ks. He's been going to this option so much, and it's such a good option, and I can't remember the last time I saw a jump K actually connect. I don't think that means that he should stop doing it. I'm just saying I think it's very interesting that KC has been able to keep himself out of that situation so long. Okay, here we go again.
I'm not a huge fan of these My Swords. They're not working.
Yeah.
They read certain options, but I think it's a bit of a hard read against a character.
There is a certain Ivy that is able to pull this kind of thing off, and with all due respect, KC, you may not be the one that we're talking about. Oh, but you just died.
Very nice. It's gonna be, yep. K will do it. Low parry, not low parry. Night lower, K will do it. Any kind of random version. I'm glad he went for the easier one. Very nice.
Good punish. The first AA we've seen in this set so far.
It's not going to be
a block? That's
12
cool.
now.
Wow, that sucks.
I've never seen. In fact, it's funny because I usually last hit tracks.
Ooh, he decides to go forward this time because normally after the first round, he ends up being wrong about his own Oki. Oh, he decides to spend it, okay.
He wants his guard damage or maybe even the round.
Or just the chip damage. Oh, that was a botched just guard. Is that it?
Kill.
It is death. This wow!
He messed up the B slide. It's very difficult.
He didn't even punish. 4-4K destroys himself. Okay.
Wow, that was so good. He anti-aired the 4-4K and then just went for the ground because he knew he'd get an awkward situation instead of an actual combo. Really good adaptation from Dre in that situation. Very spaghetti.
Battle 1. Fight.
He gets a 2A now.
Okay, block punish?
Interesting. Okay.
Even better than the block punish. I don't think anyone was blocking that.
Yeah, there was that one botched block punish that he did a while back that that I think potentially stuck in his craw. And so now it looks like, oh no, you died.
Oh no, he's not. Come on, Jay, come on. Hey,
wow! 8 plus B. Oh my god! The one time he hasn't committed to it. Oh jeez, he's catching these teeny tiny twitch ducks. And it's funny, it's so scary.
Yeah, those are very terrifying too, but if he commits to it more, I think that makes it a little bit more difficult for Jay to create an offense. What I was going to say is, it's very funny that every Ivy-related thing I've been correct about, but anything you've said about Nightmare's ring out or kill, you've been right about. It's very funny. Okay, really, really good Oki here. He's going to backstep into a...
nice
tech drop, but notably just should not tech there. It really doesn't beat much.
By the way, I'm noticing that KC isn't really using 1AA. Okay, never mind. I'll talk about it later.
Damage. Oh god, it was like Death Oki. Oh, because we're weird tech trap. It's not really. Again,
wow, okay.
Last time, buffered an SS into his whip and just covered.
Solid stuff.
Very nice, yeah. Wow, good whip punish. Very good.
Yeah, this is vintage wall rising B territory right now.
Yes, that's the back step.
Wow, fantastic. Oh, I still respect it. I still think that was really solid.
Oh, nice full crouch 3B.
I'm just like the only kind of character. This is exactly what he was setting up before, and he got it a second time in a row.
Not even convinced that Joe's going to like punish him for that.
No, yeah, right. These 4-4Ks, I don't think it's a solid... No, you killed yourself,
Very
my
bad.
dude! You killed yourself!
It's a huge life lead. Like, got
I mean,
100 health.
yeah, a life lead can evaporate in a millisecond against Nightmare, so I understand, like, the pseudo-desperation, but it's just like... I don't know, like, KC has this game plan at the ring edge, and I feel like, overall, it's actually hurt him more than it's helped him.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to shove these full crush on beats down Nightmare throat. He knows they're safe, but now he's just getting counter out of them, basically. Hey, +4. There's a horizontal mid.
It's been correct about his post GIs so far, except for
One
these.
thing he's not doing is
That is an interesting
getting
choice.
to these,
Oh, no.
these reverse situations of the GIs. He's just not stepping. I think he needs to start stepping. Wow, what was that? That was kind of funny. He got a ton of meter for it. Really good guard damage, too. We're going to see a
Oh,
soul
did he get
treasure.
the backdash? No,
Instead.
he didn't.
Unfortunately, it's going to be a kill. Very nice awareness from Casey.
Is this the only character that can punish Nightmare Soul Attack like that? I think it is.
Song Mina 1B would probably
Oh,
work as well.
sure, yeah. I guess
couple
throwing
of those
swords from
characters.
Aswell, maybe?
Yeah, definitely sword toss.
These my swords have netted... I think Dre has received a full round and a half on 3 my swords.
I would say he probably is approaching the like 500 total damage
Yeah,
mark.
yeah. Well, I think he got like a straight up ring out on one of them, so it was just like a full health bar. No, those
Right.
just
It's gonna
guards.
be Death Oki when he runs up. He has Sultra out of that.
But you're dead to a soul attack. Like, this is gonna be scary.
Wow.
Okay!
This actually can kill if he goes for Just Right. He goes for Loki instead.
Just enough. Wow. Both players, honestly, on multiple occasions, like, they're really swinging for the fences. This is not a pokey kind of match. Both characters pretty slow, gigantic damage, and they're just swinging for the fences. Sometimes it works out, and sometimes it literally is just them killing themselves.
Yeah, the only pokey thing about this match is the score, because we're really going back and forth. And it's like now 5-4, reaching the halfway point for the maximum amount of games.
No, man, it's 2-2As. Yeah, I imagine the entire thing is going to be done on this stage at this point.
Yeah, I don't think either of them are going to be, unless maybe some last-minute adaptations and just like...
Adaptation, sure, but the stage, the characters, I think we're definitely solidified here.
Right. Was that Tech Rock? Oh, no,
Yeah. So scary. He's got that terror charge while rising AA.
Yeah, unfortunately, actually, I don't know if you read it, but he did do a horizontal parry. Surprised I wasn't just be it straight up.
Alright, we're at the
Okay,
ring
it's
edge
kinda scarier,
again.
yeah.
This is
It's
where
actually
both
where
of
we
them
did
decide to
it
kill
away.
themselves.
That was actually a very cool option. Try to get the ring out there, but unfortunately, we're just too spaced out. Nice punish. Really good.
Oh, Dre, that was so scary.
Oh, risky. I think Dre could have maybe benefited from another sidestep.
Another
there, but
sidestep,
he was
yeah.
confident he was going to win.
Especially after what happened before. But he was just like, if I'm right about this, I literally kill him, so I might as well. Oh, almost a good punish.
Definitely could have gotten something way bigger, but still something that's the situation. I'm surprised he's always just like a nose hair out of range of these GAs.
God, it's like every once in a while, KineticClash gets all this momentum from these small pokes, and like eventually he just gives up on it because it's clear it doesn't matter. Like it's all about what happens here. Here is where the round is won. He loses all of his meter, and he died.
Yeah, can't move there. He's plus 10. You just have to respect the mix-up there.
God, this is so tough, guys. You're just it is such a swingy match. Like the teeny tiny stuff that these guys are going for. It just everyone's like, again, they're getting so much momentum. Casey gets little sequences like this, and it's just it doesn't matter at all. Like it takes so long for him to kill on something like this. Like he could be dead in 2 hits. Here we go. He's got terror charge. No! Oh my god! Casey, stop it. Stop doing that. It's not working. Good punish.
Actually, it's a block punish
Dead
near
space
the wall.
again.
Okay, Oki for kill. Actually fakes it out. Instead goes for a
Like it.
blow.
Wow, that
low,
grab.
no, that's very bad. Might go for the 60.
He's
Very
fine.
patient. Okay. I was definitely convinced Casey might be a little disrespectful there until we get a good counter. So, let's see. Minus 14, doesn't get anything from that spacing. Good punish. Weird back turn armor interaction. Still plus though.
Wow, that's like the first time of it. So that's why he's going for the jump Ks. That makes sense. Okay, he's specifically... I mean, it's a good move just in general, but he's doing it to get away from command grab setups. That's very smart.
yeah, again, it'll be one of those situations where if you guess wrong and get hit by a mid, they won't particularly get a combo. Wow. Yeah, Nadoki, okay, Nadoki is notably terrible. Everyone respects it a little bit too much, I think, because they're afraid of just getting roll caught by the 1K again, so they'll stand up and guard. You can just stand up and sidestep pretty much everything off of it. So Dre was aware of that and just showed his matchup knowledge. He's going to get a ton of meter and a kill here. Very nice.
Yeah, very, very solid stuff. Wow, one of the very few matches that didn't end somewhere around the ring edge and somebody making a mistake.
Maybe we'll see. Oh, that looked guaranteed.
Yeah, I think it was.
Knockdown.
Is he
wow,
dead?
this is actually going
I think he died.
Oh, he actually...
No, I think he's dead. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think he did the wrong round conversion, but I guess he had
There
like...
is no such
well,
thing
Thor
as a wrong
was-
ring out conversion. They all kill.
They all just kill.
On a stage like this, like he wasn't even close. God damn it, dude. This character.
A good stance
First
entry,
CE
and
of the
knows that's a
match.
good stance entry. Very nice. Gonna terror charge off this and a good amount of damage. Dre, for once, may possibly actually get a convincing game. We'll have to see here. I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah, I mean, again, you can get these 668 plus Bs, like, and Dre's totally comfortable with just eating that little bit of damage because, like, it frankly doesn't matter based on the results.
I
Of,
see.
yeah, and then this happens, right?
Oh, that's not gonna kill though because he didn't go for the combo like thought he would. Maybe that is max. I don't know. That's a lot of damage. This is super good Oki. Really, really tight Oki. He can kill with a command grab.
I think he's going to stay on the ground. I think Dre's going to stay on the ground.
I think that's probably what you should do in this situation. Stay on the ground.
wrong.
Wow, actually gets into the suffering, but instead blocks the mid, blocks the low. After the Oki whiffs
no.
hugely, misspaces it.
No, you should have just gone for the jump K again, dude! Why'd you go for the jump B? You didn't even need that damage.
And not even like jump K or jump A, right? Like just such a middle jump attack.
Yeah, you should have
that
just done
really
jump kick,
need.
jump kick. I also, I kind of don't blame that loss entirely on KineticClash. So he got that 6-6 BB, right? And every other time he's gone for the 6-6A. So he felt like he had done 6-6A enough to potentially condition Dre to get hit by the low grab, low stab. But the problem is that the 6-6A has just straight up whiffed for no reason both times he did it. So it didn't actually provide any conditioning simply because Soul Calibur was weird.
Yeah, honestly, this situation. Wow, fantastic defensive luck there. I think he was actually out of range of the mid, so he just kind of OS'd the guess. Really good defense there. I think if he can punish that full catch 3v, but Casey not aware or just not able to. Okay, just like grab mid to kill. Goes for a very tiny mid. Yeah, I'd be only getting a one voice in K. That is going to kill just as a combo. You can smash it out.
He needed to ensure to himself that he was able to get that just frame, because I don't think he's actually gotten that combo yet. He's been going through other combos.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, he's only been going through setups off of it. Yeah, 2-2A is just not really giving many mileage here.
Somebody's summoning. Stop going for jump B, dude. You're so lucky.
Dre
He
needs
didn't
to
kill
get for
you.
a better punish, though. Yeah, he's not gonna reach.
There it is. There's that. There are those other jump moves. Okay,
Jump,
here we go.
yeah, IB both, in my opinion, the best jump moves in the game. All three of them have their uses. They're very, very strong. And 9A particularly, its only weakness, in my opinion, is that it is minus 12, but it's a nightmare. So it's just good damage. It back turns on hit. It's tons of range. Definitely something you should probably implement more. Very nice step back. Actually gets a really good punish. It's going to be 87 damage. It's just a death thing.
Could have sworn this is like the first time that we've seen KC up 2 rounds against Dre in one of these.
Yeah, we're
matches.
gonna see a reverse convincing game.
He's got some. He has a lot to do. It's like, does he try to go for the more scrappy gameplay, which seems to kind of not matter, or does he just try to guess correctly in situations like this? I really don't know.
Yeah, I think he wanted a wall rising BB there, but he actually
Yeah.
stood up and twitch ducked and said, in case he gets twitch ducking too much, I think some of these committal watches.
Oh, so he's definitely been killed by that at least a handful of times, but it's so scary and it's so rewarding if he's right about an AGA.
You don't beat anything though doing this. You just take so much guard damage. I'm not sure if I like this because if Jay wins this, he's gonna have something else to work with.
There
He has
it
to
is.
play.
What did he need to do? 1A?
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Casey has not inputted a single 1A this
No.
entire set. And 1A is fantastic against Nightmare.
Especially in a situation like
punish it.
this where he's just sitting, waiting at AGA range.
Yeah, why not do the thing that beats your
Beats
opponent
that?
stand
Yeah.
blocking, beats your opponent doing a high, beats your opponent just, blocking, and anything, even low blocking, Nightmare can't punish it.
Looks like he feels a lot more comfortable doing 2-2As. It makes sense. It's not unsafe here.
Yeah, it's not unsafe on block, but definitely if he ducks it, you take a punch.
Well,
damage and
yeah,
you lose
that's gonna
foot.
be. But Dre doesn't twitch duck in that situation. He tends to like go for this kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah, he's definitely just playing it. Wow, nice trade confirm. That was fantastic. Again, I'd be able to check out of this combo. I was pretty sure it was supposed to be just guaranteed.
Yeah.
Maybe KT knows something we don't. A punish.
Backing
That-
up. He's not even back
I don't
stepping,
like
he's just
playing
holding
into
back.
it, though. You don't have to be impatient. This is so scary. Really good
GI.
move on block. Okay, this is like -2 on block. Good twisters. Okay, that's going to kill it. Dispense bar. Very nice confirm.
Alright, he still has some work to do. Needs 2 more just to tie it up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah, I
it
don't
really
know.
seems like there are a handful of spots where KC could potentially go for a different kind of game plan when Dre is just so patient right now. He is just constantly leaning on these advantages for chip damage and stuff like that and staying at a perfect AGA range in order to take away any sort of risk. And he has perfect movement to try and deal with this character. Warp.
Wow,
Man,
that was
the one
very
time he got
strange.
the jump beat to actually connect, he didn't even confirm it.
Didn't confirm it, unfortunately. I'm sure he didn't. He noticed that that won't kill. Boop. Oh wow, it looked like it was supposed to because the K actually ended up with -12. Can't do anything with that.
Yeah, I mean, again, like,
KC,
I do agree that the 2-2A is like a good thing. It's just the problem is, again, Dre is keeping himself out of this kind of danger zone. I actually talked to Dre about this matchup, sort of, earlier today, where I said that Nightmare during my travels with Ivy was actually a character that I was a little bit more comfortable with because he wasn't a character that could overwhelm me. The second I said that, Dre was just like, well, clearly every Nightmare player that you fought against has no idea how to play against Nightmare. Well, he ends up getting a ring out here. But I get the impression that Dre is very comfortable in a matchup like this, and I can definitely tell.
Fighting this character.
Like, I think his confidence is well-founded, based on what I've seen in the set so far.
Yeah, and again, I think the way that KC is playing it kind of falls into what Nightmare likes to do, which is like blow up your patience with guard damage, and then also
Please stop.
use your
No, why? What happened? What?
I was just gonna say use your risk taking to guarantee large
Yeah.
amounts of damage, but he honestly didn't get anything out of that because he just stood up too early. Again, not confirming the jump speed, but just gets the containment there at the AGA.
There was a lot of spaghetti there on both sides, I think.
Very spaghetti. But Dre, one more round, he's 2 games away. Let's see if he's able to use this.
One of the first Soul Charge activations we've seen from KC so far.
Yeah, it's actually super bad. I would recommend soul charging out of this really heavily. This situation actually sucks. He's just got so much damage. I don't see why you don't soul charge at this point. You've taken so much damage, but
And
you've
you won.
Get the mirror back. This might actually kill.
This character is so stupid, dude. Look at that carry!
Okay, maybe the Night Lower plus B. Yes, Night
And
Lower
now you're
plus B is
dead.
Definitely gonna be really scary here. You might not exactly die just because of the wall there being weird.
Christ, dude, what the hell? Alright, well, you lost, so...
This is going to be a conversion into wall or ring out. Either way, you will always get the ring out conversion. Very nice from KC.
Man, you want to talk... I think that's the swingiest round we've ever had on this.
Yeah, I
in this
was not
exhibition.
confident in either player's ability to win at all, but then at the same time, I thought both players won absolutely in both situations.
Yes, that blows my mind. That corner carry was literally from the middle of like the biggest stage in the game to the very edge.
Let's see what we
Into
get
a
off this
virtual
Oki
force
here.
block. Yeah,
Oh
there
no,
it is.
this is the correct angle. You will actually get it if you just land the B slide A, but he isn't able to slide correctly. Just wants to soul charge out of the
He's got
situation.
the
Don't be
soul
near the
charge
ring
now,
edge.
so this
You
is-
have a life lead. I can't believe that rung out. All right, we are moving to.
Yeah, 8-5 now. Like, god damn, dude. Like, there aren't very many matches. There haven't been very many games in this that have looked one-sided. It's just the fact
Right.
that, like, again, it's like one of them is just large and in charge, or the other one is. And I think as time has gone on in this set, Dre seems to be getting so much more mileage out of the stage than maybe KC was. So maybe you were right at the very beginning. Maybe even though KC is getting mileage out of being able to back up for so long, that Dre is actually the one who's benefiting the most out of this stage, and KC should change. He's not going to, but maybe that is the case.
Right, I definitely think that was the play at first. Yeah, and again, these normal, these crouch grab over normal grabs. Just gonna go for the can I grab here? Oh no, just meter gain. Yeah, again, really appreciating that from Dre. His offense is really well structured to deal with the way IB defensively works. So he's just not taking as much damage
Just
as
the same.
he normally would for these risks, but Shadows Hussein is going to
I
take the risk
don't
and
even
get a
know
multiple
if
play.
I want to validate KC in this option, because I still don't think it's a good idea. Even
is
though
a-
it literally
is
won
a,
him
like,
the round.
2 out of like 12 hit rate. I'm not sure if I would.
It's not enough, and it's not like we're talking like, oh, he got A8 out of it, so who cares? Like, he literally lost like 2 full rounds.
If anything, these 2-1-4As speak to the fact that KC's not confident in blocking one direction consistently. If anything, he only blocks mid. Whenever he blocks low, he stands up almost immediately, so Dre can deal with that timing. It's just a testament to his lack of committal blocking.
Fantastic.
Nice, we're punishing the GI. Just want to stay horizontal here. Yep, don't want to do anything too crazy.
Yeah, he decides to spend bar.
Oh, it's just so scary for Dre, though, because he can't get hit by this specific move that KC did not commit to, though.
Waiting on the ground, waiting for that wall rising AA. He has gotten a lot of mileage out of waiting around on the ground just to get a wall rising move. A lot of that kind of stuff has been very vintage Nightmare and Siegfried kind of options. They're both. Wow, what a trade, my dude!
That's actually something that. And he went for a tech trap there, but he actually guarded into it, so Dre didn't even lose out for being wrong there. Ooh, do not want to go with a linear high against that stance. Definitely not. Very good.
Fantastic bait on that roll forward.
Setup, maybe. Go for the guard damage. Another setup for the guard, the GI read. But he
no, that's not what he wanted, was it?
Doesn't do anything to either player.
Yeah, but that still sucks, losing that bar, you know?
Yeah, losing the bar is definitely going to suck there, though. Tiny little 2K there. Very nice duck.
He did?
Can kill. He needs to just
no.
goes for the setup instead. Delayed command grab is not going to work here. +4. Oh, that second move really nails the retrack, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dre actually probably went for an armor move there, but did not have the health to suffice that, so...
Still, getting that bar kind of lost still kind of stinks. He ends up getting a wall rising B here.
Yeah, no matter what, this round is going to be very difficult for KC.
Alright, finally he's able to catch Dre being very aggressive on these kinds of Okies. I think that's where Dre's been getting a lot of his damage.
I didn't know you could armor that there. I thought you would need to sidestep instead, but he didn't really get a reward out of it, so maybe he should have.
See, this is a situation where now KC has frankly not had a lot of success. He's dead to an AGA. He may still be dead to an AGA at the moment. Terror Charge doesn't get anything on that grab.
Are just not giving him a reward. He needs to commit to these decisions.
His twitches have either gotten him hit by a mid, or he ends up being correct and not getting anything out of it. Again, teeny tiny hits. He wants to take the bet. He wants to take the bet that he's going to win this round.
I don't like this meter spend at all, even if he was successful. Well, if he was, he would win the game.
Yeah,
fair. But
it was very risky. It was a very big risk.
Don't think. I don't think there was a way for Dre to play into that correctly, where he would lose that round.
Yeah, these 6Ks have been getting crushed by the armor as well.
Alright, we appreciate an early meter spend from Dre. Dre's not able to deal with the spray advantage very well, especially as a slower character like Nightmare. A lot of damage coming from Ivy. This will be a death setup. Oh, he goes for the command grab weirdly from stance. He wanted probably SS.
Yeah, that's probably the case. 4-4Ks are still killing him, dude. They're just not that good.
Bad. This situation sucks. It doesn't get any worse than this for Ivy being in the... Oh, it's going to parry. This is going to parry because Dre was greedy with that soul attack. I don't like that. Containing there.
But see, the thing is...
A little bit better, but...
Ivy's in yellow... Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that that was KC's second round.
No, that's going to close it out. Again, I was going to say, this is one of those situations where I think you just want to contain Ivy. Like, yes, she can jump your lows or whatever horizontal you choose. Maybe she'll duck it, but she has no health left. I think this is like one of the only ways she can come back is when she lands that critical edge on your vertical. Ever since that change,
tried to go for a 16 or 14.
You know,
again, he's getting this little kind of stuff, and I mean, that's good damage and everything, but then this happens, and it's like, well, whatever. Ends up not getting hit by the tech trap this time around.
Again, he's teching though.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
Oh no. So much meter on Dre's side on top of things.
Good guard damage. I appreciate that option. It's like your opponent blocks low, whatever. Your opponent blocks mid, literally whatever. You're still +10. Give me the guard damage there.
God, it's so difficult. Every once in a while, Casey's able to come up with these like moments of inspiration, but it's just like this crushing hammer that Dre has going on right now. Just quintessential, just control. Seems to be so tough, and yeah, again, like he gets these little sprees of teeny tiny hits, and then something like this happens in the round, it's just entirely over, dude.
Oh, he wants to keep the terror charge, actually goes for the guard damage.
Nice, perfect guard.
Really investing in making sure this final round, if he wins this one, is going to be much easier, and I kind of like that, actually.
Yeah, definitely going for like the guard damage kind of stuff. Casey doesn't even have a bar to work
running
with.
Straight into that,
do
not block low here. Yeah, he knew he could go for that setup.
Yeah, you might as well in that situation.
So he can just do like a super real mix-up. Are you kidding me? Backstepping was the only thing.
I mean, okay, so... Yes, it's kind of like a facepalm moment, but I do have to say that, like, the fact that Dre has cover for it so much and he's ahead, I can't slam him that hard for it because I think Casey has gone for effectively a setup like that 750,000 times during this set, and he's only gotten hit 3 times. So I still want to say
damage
kudos.
here.
Oh
Whiffs
no!
it, but it kind of creates a weird situation where he gets a really good combo. Wow, I've never...
Into chip, into more guard damage. This is pretty awful. And yeah,
just
Dre's just going to literally
just
sit on the other side of the ring.
play.
KineticClash
No
is going to
reason to play
try
over
and
there.
build 2 full bars, and I think Dre
baiting
should be
him.
totally comfortable with that.
Dre doesn't look comfortable. He really wants to get
No, come on, Dre! No, you had the right idea, dude!
Still play. He doesn't...
Don't play the game?
want to let him build
Okay,
the meter.
again,
Okay.
very aggressive on
risky
wake
there.
up.
That's a high. Very, very risky.
Yes.
Aside for that. Again, I wish Dre was more comfortable just not playing the game at that ring edge. Again, she'll build the bar. It's kind of whatever because she's going to lose the round.
Yeah, exactly.
Comfortable with that. If she loses the round, she gets a free meter.
Yeah.
She's literally
So
beating
it's
it.
just overlap bar at that point.
Yeah. It's just a bait. I wish he just a little more patient there, but he ends up closing it out anyway. This round was looking fantastic for Dre. Seems like one more
And
good
getting
terror
those
charge hit.
twitches, he doesn't necessarily get anything out of it. He
I think
gets a
it's
lucky
really
2-2
good,
A plus B at the
okay.
moment.
So weird now. Both players either critical edge, but we're probably not going to see either one, even though Casey heavily favors it. I think Dre will actually play around a little bit better this time. We'll see. He's wasting his soul charge, but he's still
Oh,
a charge.
jeez.
Okay, decent with punish.
Okay,
Duck that
well,
fully.
alright then. I still hold that my swords are not a good idea, but hey, it is now 6-9. Nice. And Dre is 1 game away from completing this. Very measured pressure, has had a handful of slip-ups with regards to his aggression, but especially the anti-Oki that he's displayed against Ivy has been very impressive. Getting a lot of these rolling on the ground, creating awkward timings, and then punishing from a really far away screen for a lot of damage. I think it's been very impressive so far.
That tech crouch was so fortunate for Casey. Definitely could have been a kill situation. 2-2K is probably not what he wanted. We're going to see a 9B or tons of damage into a really good Oki. Let's see if he goes for it. Yes, he does.
Again,
He
trying to
he
catch
can't
that roll
get
forward.
Horse block. Gotta hold that one.
Yeah,
That Oki is
Dre is
super.
totally comfortable not respecting that kind of thing because then eventually he's able to bulldog his way in and get something like this, and this just the sheer meter that's going on here is
Wow,
just so
that-
huge.
It was weird. The whipped on hit, so
man.
Dre actually ended up being plus there. He didn't go for the critical edge.
Oh.
Instead goes for a combo that probably should have worked. 2-2B hold is not going to combo. Neither is okay.
I can't believe he went for that again. KC is a rock of a man. I can't believe that he is so... Wow, Nightmare doing the spinny spin into GI.
See what happened?
Yeah. Alright, he ends up getting his RE that he definitely wanted.
Goes for the backstep read.
Immediate soul charge. I actually like this, just due to the stage positioning.
Casey can't really play too active.
Oh, he died.
Oh, that's
No, he
bad.
didn't. Okay.
No, you have to do something that's a little bit more range. 6 speed probably would have rung out there. Oh, it's very uncomfortable because both players
This is
are
so
kind of
terrifying.
right now.
Every single time, it's so scary.
I'm
I
not
can't
breaking
believe he didn't
forward
get...
there. Oh, okay, get a little bit of damage there. Didn't get like the proper hit. Still
Nice
decent damage.
block.
Quad slow there, very nice. Yeah, the mid was not going to reach there, so was no mix-up. Dre was aware of that. Very nice. Yes, whip punish. Too late.
Doesn't even get the just guards on it.
He
Very
probably
important.
doesn't believe.
Wow,
he's
whipping
still
a
going to
grab
be doing
into
that.
while rising AA. Dude, I gotta say, it's kind of like what you were talking about before. These Twitch ducks from KC have been terrible, where it either blows him up because he went for a mid, or KC does in fact duck the AGA that he's looking for, and he gets no damage out of it. So it's just like, it's nothing. It's just a straight up nothing benefit at the moment. Oh, catching that back
Yeah,
dash.
that is plus. You can't just move
Lots
there.
of meter from Nightmare. I assume he's gonna soul
Yeah,
charge like immediately.
I really wish he'd be a little more
Please
liberal
stop doing
with
that,
it, but I think
KC.
He probably doesn't need it.
I really wish you would stop doing that, KC.
Nightmare again, yeah, you have so much meter. Oh, whiffing that is huge, but
That was so
get
smart from Dre.
anything.
Casey was looking for the roll forward into mash the way that Dre has been doing it the whole time, and then he was able to roll back and still potentially bait a punish. And so Dre
Yeah,
is
just
now
the range.
on set point.
Yeah, this could be the final round of the entire set. I actually, again, Dre has a blinking guard gauge to work with. You know, he's gonna have to deal with IW 2 bars no matter what he does.
Tries
Tries to
so
get the block punch there. I would really appreciate his bars being spent early. I think that
Yeah.
Casey's on the same bar because this is essentially his last round. You just want to get his guard. Oh, yeah, you can't step that.
Run up 4A was a really solid idea to try and beat the armor there.
Yeah, very nice. Oh, huge counter hit, tons of damage. I really, again, would appreciate just Dre spending his meter here. Gets the terror charge plus 10. Containing here.
Oh, that's
I need
it.
that's dead. Yeah,
Again,
that's
those Twitch
weird.
ducks. Those Twitch ducks were the real killer there. I
Yeah,
think that for the most part, that was just real bad.
The Twitch ducks acted as like a reverse OS, where like
Yeah.
you just would reduce your punish on highs and lows, and you'd make it so that when a mid comes, you just kind of directly duck into it, and you always get launched. So I think the defense could have been a little bit more committal there. Really well played from Jay. Really well played from KC too. I just think the defense was really what ripped him apart.